Well, welcome everyone to the February 7th public meeting for the town of Conception Bay South. We start this evening, of course, with our land acknowledgement. The town of Conception Bay South would like to respectfully acknowledge the territory in which we gather as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk and the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homelands of the Mi'kmaq and Beothuk. We also respectfully acknowledge Labrador as the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Innu of Nitassinan, the Inuit of Nunatsiavut, and the Inuit of Nunatuavut. We strive for respectful partnerships with all the peoples of this province as we search for collective healing and true reconciliation and honor this beautiful land together. So we start off, as always, with adoption of agendas and minutes, the adoption of the meeting agenda for February 7th. Somebody want to move that? Councillor Barrett, seconded by Councillor Butler. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried. Adoption of the meeting minutes of January 17th, moved by Councillor Connors, seconded by Councillor Hillier. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried. Business arising from previous minutes will be dealt with at this meeting and meetings going forward. We move on to visitors, presentations, and petitions. And tonight we have three. And the first one is the Eating Disorder Awareness Week proclamation. And tonight we have a guest with us, Mr. Paul Toomey with the Eating Disorder Foundation. And I'll ask Mr. Toomey to come forward for the proclamation. Okay, you can come right in. All right, so whereas an eating disorder is a serious mental illness with often devastating physical implications, and whereas eating disorders affect many individuals and families in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador, and whereas recovery from an eating disorder is a journey that includes support from families and caregivers, whereas Eating Disorder Foundation of Newfoundland and Labrador is the leading advocacy group dedicated to promoting support, treatment, services, and providing public support services and information about matters related to eating disorders throughout the province, whereas February 1st through 7th, 2023 is dedicated across Newfoundland and Labrador and the entire country as a special time when many educational and awareness activities take place to help raise the level of understanding of eating disorder prevention, treatment, and recovery. And whereas the theme for Eating Disorders Awareness Week 2023 is transforming the narrative from ask to action. Therefore, I, Darren Bent, Mayor of the town of Conception Bay South, do hereby proclaim February 1st to February 7th, 2023, be observed as Eating Disorders Awareness Week in the town of Conception Bay South. And Mr. Toomey, I previously signed this proclamation on February 1st. And I'd like for you now, if you'd like to say a few words on behalf of the foundation.
Thank you, Mayor Bent, and thank you, councillors. Yes, as Mayor Bent said, he has signed the proclamation on the first day of Eating Disorder Awareness Week. And of course, today, the 7th, is our final day. But as we say, and my chairman says frequently, Eating Disorder Awareness Week is not just 1 week of the year. It's all 52 weeks of the year. And it's certainly 52 weeks of the year for families and individuals who are dealing with an eating disorder, because it is a journey. It can be a long journey. It can be a rough journey, but people know that there's supports out there, and we are there to help. And we have some great supports in our healthcare system. The foundation's been around for about 16 years, and any of you don't know the history. The foundation came as a result of the death of Vince and Dolores Withers' daughter, Renata, who suffered from anorexia for many years and died at the age of 27. But they've turned that into this foundation that has done a lot of good work. And as Vince has said, thousands and thousands of families have come through our doors that we've talked to. And a lot of people have had great success stories from this journey on an eating disorder. By being here tonight, you people are hearing our message. A lot more people are hearing it. And what we need you to know that there is support out there. We provide programs to support families because we believe families are critical to a recovery journey for an eating disorder. And we provide that kind of support with families through education, through training to know how to deal with that eating disorder. So I thank you for the opportunity to speak briefly here this evening and look forward to coming back again next year.
Okay, well, thank you very much for coming and sharing along with the proclamation. Of course, it's very serious, affects a lot of people, and I'm sure that just about everybody in this room knows somebody that's been affected by an eating disorder, and the awareness campaigns that your foundation does is fantastic, and the initiative by the Withers family has, I'm sure, helped many, many people and will continue to do so. And it's a pleasure to be able to help spread that awareness along with you. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you. Okay, moving right along, proclamation for Kin Canada Day. I call upon Councillor Josh Barrett.
Thank you, Your Worship. So as the mayor mentioned, this is for Kin Canada Day and Kin Canada Week. Whereas Kin Canada has been a vibrant and responsible all-Canadian service organization devoted to serving communities across Canada since 1920. Whereas Kin Canada clubs and their members have demonstrated excellence, pride, integrity, inclusiveness, and compassion in the pursuit of furthering enriching our community. Whereas Kin Canada is celebrating its 103rd anniversary on February 20th, 2023. Therefore, I, Josh Barrett, Councillor at Large of the town of Conception Bay South, feel that all members of our community would welcome the opportunity to celebrate our local club and Kin Canada's rich history of serving the community's greatest need. With great honor, I do hereby declare Monday, February 20th, 2023, Kin Canada Day, and declare the week of February 19th to 25th, 2023, Kin Canada Week as a celebration of all Kin Canada clubs. Further, I encourage all members of our community to thank and congratulate our local kinsmen, kinettes, and kin members who give so generously of their time and talent for the betterment of our region. In witness of, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of Town of Conception Bay South to be affixed this 7th day of February 2023.
Thank you, Councillor Barrett. And of course, the Kin Club, fantastic organization and great community supporter here in Conception Bay South. Finally, for proclamations, we have Heritage Day and Heritage Week, and Councillor Christine Butler.
Thank you, Your Worship. Heritage Day Week Proclamation 2023. Whereas the third Monday in February is recognized nationally as Heritage Day, and whereas Heritage Day and Heritage Week are a time to reflect on the achievements of past generations and to accept responsibility for protecting our heritage. And whereas our citizens should be encouraged to celebrate Newfoundland and Labrador's uniqueness and to rejoice in our heritage. And whereas in 2023, the residents of Newfoundland and Labrador will celebrate our rich and diverse heritage. Therefore, I, Christine Butler, Councillor at Large, on behalf of the Town of Conception Bay South, do hereby proclaim Monday, February 20th, 2023 as Heritage Day and February 20th to 26th, 2023 as Heritage Week, and call upon all citizens to celebrate the richness of our past and the promise of our future. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Butler. Moving right along to new business. First of all, this evening, we're going to start with Deputy Mayor Andrea Goss. And Deputy Mayor, it's a special night here in the Town of Conception Bay South as we join with our fellow municipalities on the Northeast Avalon, and you're going to let us know why and explain what people have been seeing on their screens, these signs that are around all of our desks. Deputy Mayor.
Thanks, Mayor Bent. Yeah, it is a special evening here. Earlier this evening, as you can see, we all have signs around, and as everyone speaks this evening, you'll see the sign on their desks, we believe. Tonight, we, the Town of Conception Bay South, joined with other towns in supporting a fellow municipal leader. Recently, Councillor Elizabeth Laurie of the Town of Paradise was diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer. Elizabeth is a wife and a mother of 2 girls. She's been a council member for over 13 years, serving as councillor and deputy mayor. And she's a very dedicated volunteer in her community. Councillor Laurie chose to share her cancer story so she might help others to recognize the early signs of cancer and advocate for themselves. She truly is a community champion. So earlier this evening, on behalf of the town of Conception Bay South, we graciously accepted the sign of support for Councillor Laurie from the town of Torbay. To be a municipal leader, you must be strong and you must believe in what you're fighting for. And tonight, we, the town of Conception Bay South, send our support and strength to Councillor Laurie. We believe. So that's what our sign is here tonight, as you'll see here on my desk. And there's a video, we did a video message that we'll be sending to the town of Paradise, showing that we truly believe and we're behind Councillor Elizabeth Laurie 100%. So I had a couple other things I just want to make mention of very quickly. Today, I was invited to bring greetings to the Twilight Seniors Club under 30th anniversary. This is a seniors club. They have approximately 40 members, and they've been, they're 30 years strong, and they had a little celebration this afternoon at the parish hall. So I just want to congratulate them. They meet weekly, and a lovely group, and you know, they're it's a little socialization opportunity for seniors to get out and have a cup of tea, game of cards, and you know, just sharing some fellowship and friendship. So congratulations to the Twilight Seniors Club under 30th anniversary. And the last thing I'd just like to take a quick mention of is during Literacy Week on Wednesday, January 25th, I had the opportunity to go to St. Edward's Elementary School and read to Ms. Flynn's grade 3 class. And they were a lovely, bubbly little class, and we had it was a great book, and it was lots of exchange. And anyway, I just want to show the lovely card they made me. Thank you card with a message from them all inside. And I also I received a lovely house plant. Apparently the class is quite into gardening and plants and whatnot. And anyway, it was a great afternoon. So I wanted to share that with everybody. And anyway, that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councillor Hillier.
Yes, Your Worship. Last time I read to a class at St. Edward's, I didn't get a thank you card. They sent me away with a petition for more crosswalks. And we're still working on it. Your Worship, as you're aware, over the last 3 weeks, I spent a little bit of time as a guest of our healthcare system. And at that point in time, during that period, I met two student nurses from Conception Bay South who were part of my care. And I won't name them, but they certainly know who they are. And I just want to thank them for the care that they gave me. I wish them luck as they graduate in April, and I know that our healthcare system will be much stronger when they enter it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Hillier. That's a very, very nice story. Thank you. Councillor Connors.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And yes, we believe. I wanted to just talk a little bit about cellular service and that again tonight. Seems that is always a topic of discussion most times. And we've been hearing some positive feedback, but we're certainly not at the level that a town our size deserves. And we're still having some challenges in places. But it does appear that services have improved, and the providers are sorting some of the issues out. As I said before, they tell us that they made some adjustments and repairs, and they discovered some issues, but we're still not where we want to be as a town. So once again tonight, I'm hoping that residents and anyone who's having any challenges or drop calls or data issues, put out a complaint or send a complaint to the service providers. The only way that we will get up to the level that we want is if we continue to let the service providers know what our issues are, and they have to be specific issues. It can't be just, so it's bad in the Kellegrose area. It has to be as bad on Middlebite Road in Kellegrose, or it's bad in Topsail Road in Topsail. So it has to be specific. So once again, I'm asking for residents and anyone who is dropping calls to get the word out to the service providers and write complaints to the service providers. That's it for me tonight.
Thank you, Councillor Connors. Councillor Barrett.
Thank you, your worship. Well, I have been getting an increasing number of inquiries lately, maybe complaints, dare I say, about off-leash dogs, and largely around Chamberlain's Park, probably because I frequent that area most often, but also in other areas of the town. And so just want to take a couple of moments here this evening to address this concern. The town Conception Bay South has animal control regulations which puts forth a prohibition on the roaming of animals, as well as other provisions with respect to animal treatment and tethering. In addition to the town regulations, our enforcement division also operates within the Provincial Animal Health and Protection Act, which essentially covers all other matters that our town policy is outside our town policy. All of which to say, it is clear in these policies that dogs are not permitted to be loose in public places. And for reasons, frankly, I just won't entertain this evening and spend time talking over, because it just seems quite obvious to me. As a town, we continue to do what we can to alleviate some of these ongoing issues and take proactive measures, such as educating residents on our rules and regulations, but sometimes that only goes so far. And depending on the situation, we will issue a ticket to gain compliance. While I would say you can continue to reach out to myself or any other council members on some of these issues, I would also encourage you to contact our Humane Services department directly at 834-6552. They can be reached 7 days a week and will investigate a situation and act accordingly. It is also worth noting, we actually have a dog park here in the town that I have frequented many times. I know our mayor has been there frequently over the past year or two. We have a combination of grass, gravel, there's benches, lots of space for everybody to enjoy. So I know my puppy has enjoyed that over the years, and I'm sure yours will as well. So I feel like I say this time and time again, but yes, please go out, enjoy the trails, but please do so in a respectful way for everyone to enjoy. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Councillor Barrett. Yes, I do frequent the dog park every now and again, and gets great use, and the people there seem to enjoy it quite a bit. So hopefully people will take advantage of that rather than off leash in parks or on game fields that are used by children and so forth, which is permitted as well. Councillor Morris.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. First of all, I'd like to mention that I had the opportunity, along with Mayor Bent, to attend the opening ceremonies of the Swim for Hope on February 3rd with the Conception Bay South Bluefins. It was a wonderful event. The opening ceremonies consisted of some speeches and a cake cutting with the 3 individuals that raised the most funds. And throughout the evening, they were divided up into, their theme was Olympics. So they were divided up into different countries, and they were swimming throughout the evening for different countries. But one of the things that they did after the cake cutting is they went down around the pool, all the lights were turned off, and they all held flashlights, and they went around talking about who they were there for and who they were fundraising for. So I thought it was really nice because, not everyone is fundraising for someone individually, but they're there and they're supporting the cause. And some of them said that, so it was great. And I know that they had raised over $7,000. So just a shout out to them for such a great event and a great evening. I'm sure I left before all the madness started, but I'm sure it was a great night because they were there until midnight. I also wanted to mention that Winterfest kicks off this Friday and goes on until the 19th. It will feature 50 events for our 50th anniversary celebrations. The full schedule can be found on the town's website and social media pages. A lot of events are already sold out. So if anything that is left that you're interested in, make sure you get your tickets as soon as possible. In conjunction with the Winterfest, obviously we're putting a big effort on our 50th anniversary. So Friday night, there's going to be a kickoff event at Nugent's Field. It will start at 6 p.m. and the main attraction will be Wonderbolt Circus performing their All Fired Up show. This event will also feature a photo booth, balloon animals, glow sticks, fire pits, and the town will provide busing from the CBS Arena, and this event is free to the public. And also on Saturday night, there's going to be a big event at the Villanova Parish Hall with Bick and the Ballpoint. So this is a ticketed event, so make sure you get your tickets before it sells out. So that starts at 9 o'clock. So it's going to be a good, exciting first weekend to kick off Winterfest and also the celebrations for our 50th anniversary. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Morris. Councillor Butler.
Thank you, Mayor. First off, I wanted to thank everybody who came out and supported Special Olympics and CBS last weekend by coming into the local Tim Hortons and buying the special little donut that they had made. There seemed to be a lot of people wanting chocolate donuts last weekend. So I was there for a while with some of the Special Olympics, and we gathered, and I'm some of the coaches and the athletes and some of the people who support them on a regular basis, and I try to help them out when I can. So that was a great event. Also, I was at the library the first day it opened, and they wouldn't renew my card. Shucks, they said my card was still good. I really wanted a new card. But anyway, it was still good apparently. So I enjoyed that afternoon and met up with some old friends and saw lots of little ones enjoying the children's area there. And I think it was just a resounding success, and I think people are really enjoying it being opened. And also, like Deputy Mayor Goss, I too read at St. Edward's for Literacy Week and Literacy Day, and actually got the privilege of reading to my grandson's grade 4 class, which was really nice. And I didn't have to read in French, even though he's doing French immersion. Thank God for that. So that was really good. And lastly, I want to mention something the Red Cross has, a Friendly Calls program. It's a program whereby you're paired with a trained Red Cross volunteer who will call you on a regular basis for a quick 2-minute chat or a longer, more social conversation. You can either become a volunteer or you can sign up to be one of the people that gets these regular calls. And the contact information is a 1-800 number, 1-833-729-0144. Or the website is www.redcross.ca/volunteer. Sounds like a really wonderful program, and certainly people could make avail of it when they want to talk to somebody if they're lonely. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Butler. Councillor Tilley.
Thank you, Worship. Just a couple of items, just to reiterate on what Councillor Moore said about regarding our Winterfest this Saturday morning. Of course, council's going to cook a few pancakes, so breakfast is on us to the residents of CBS. So by all means, I think anytime after 8 o'clock, I believe it starts. So I hope to see you all there. Second item I want to talk about is sometimes you read, I guess, a lot of negativity on social media with regards to, I guess, snow clearing services, not only in CBS, but just about anywhere. And I just want to put it in perspective, and people got to realize that, you know, in the span of 24 hours, we went from like minus 25 degrees, bitter temperatures, to rain and 7 degrees. A few hours later, then we have temperature drop again, which puts you in our ice control mode. And then we have another 10 or 15 centimeters of snow, which puts us into snow clear mode. So, and you know, these rigs are going 24/7, and you know, of course, sometimes we do have some hiccups with maintenance issues and that kind of stuff. But you can be rest assured that our public works department is at the ready and doing the best they can. And I believe we got some more snow coming again tomorrow. So I just like to remind the general public that folks drive to meet the conditions of the road. I mean, if it's not ideal, you know, just you're going to have to slow down, and if you got to be at work at 8 o'clock, well, probably leave at 7 to get there safely and on time. Thank you.
Okay, so yes, thank you for that. And that's good advice, Councillor Tilley. It is winter and there's snowy conditions, different atmospheric conditions produce different things on the roadways, and it's always good to plan ahead and take your time out there for sure. Just a couple of things. Yes, Swim for Hope. Councillor Moores mentioned earlier, inspiring group of young people. It's great that they're able to do it in person this year, because they've been sort of doing online fundraisers for the last couple of years for the reason we know why, but it's always great to see them out and they're getting ready to have some fun there that night when we left, but to raise money to help families that are affected by cancer is a great thing, and giving back to their community is something that these young people learning at a young age is fantastic for our community, and wherever they may go going through their lives, they'll have that with them, and knowing that they've made a difference and can make a difference if they choose to. As well, I was down for the first day of the library. I think it was 2 Thursdays ago now, or it'll be 2 weeks this week, I guess. And it's great to see so many young people. They got right into using stuff right away, and to see the people there and the excitement, that was fantastic. And I know that we're planning an official opening with all the appropriate people that have been involved in this over the years, and to recognize them, and to kick off our reading garden, which isn't open yet, and so forth. So looking forward to that event, and raising the awareness of our library, which is really a library resource learning center. It's got so much in it to offer our seniors, our families, and our young people. It's just fantastic to have here in our community. And as well, like Deputy Mayor Goss and Councillor Butler, you were at the Literacy Day at St. Edward's Elementary. I believe Chief Heffernan, you were there as well for Literacy Day. Fantastic event that they organized. Well, first time, I guess, in a couple of years, but they usually organize every year, and they invite people in to read to some of the classes. I was fortunate enough not to get a petition like Councillor Hilliard did. I remember that. How did you make out with those? Did you get those crosswalks after Councillor Hilliard?
Became part of our major traffic study within town, Your Worship, and there's an extra set of lights, I believe, outside of Admiral's Academy, and there's a pedestrian crosswalk at Lawton's that the grade 4 class at that time, or probably grade 10 or 11 in high school right now,
There you go.
can certainly take credit for lobbying.
I'm not sure if they're watching tonight, but they may be. So, but anyway, yeah, I didn't get a petition, but I too got a card, and not to take anything away from Deputy Mayor Goss's card, I didn't get a plant, but I did get an awesome card. And you can see that the students at Ms. Anderson's grade 3 French immersion class share the mindset here at council that CBS is the best. And they didn't just leave it at that, they proved it inside. And they drew everything in Conception Bay South that they think is awesome. And it goes right from some of the sporting facilities. The new library is there actually, and all kinds of other things. So there's fantastic depictions there, and I thank them for that. So I'm not saying my card is better than Deputy Mayor Goss's, but it is awesome. So, you know, I'm not sure which microphone I'm using here now. Is this one now? So that one's now working. So anyways, thank you to them. And I was told when I went there that they sent us to grade 3 classes because those are the classes that are learning about how government works. So they got to ask some good questions of me when I was there, and I appreciated that. And their knowledge of the town and how things work was really good. So hats off to the folks at St. Edward's and all the schools in town that do the literacy event. I know most all of them do at the elementary level for sure. So that was very good. Now, that is it for me. So we're going to move on now to the general business of the meeting. And we start as always with the Planning and Development Committee, and that's Chair Councillor Rex Hilliard.
Yes, Your Worship, these are items brought forth from our January 30 committee meeting. First, 131 Pizza Town Road. Be it so resolved that in accordance with section 10.10.2 and council's discretionary authority of section 10.7 of the town's development regulations, application number 2429 received November 18, 2022 for a dog grooming business located at 131 Pizza Town Road be approved. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Barrett, discussion.
Yes, Your Worship, this falls within our home-based business policy and at discretion of council.
All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
6B, be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 10.7 and 10.10.2 of the town's development regulations, application number 2450 received on December 8th, 2022 for a hobby farm use at 251 Seal Cove Road be approved on condition that a maximum of 10 chickens be on the property at any time and that the owner register with the provincial farm premises ID program. So moved.
Seconder. Counselor Tilly, discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, I will say that the application was looking for a significant larger number and variety of animals, and from what we have we permitted with the 10 chickens that we're recommending.
Just to clarify, that's only hobby farm, not slaughterhouse.
Hmm?
No slaughtering at that property.
No slaughtering of animals, just a hobby farm.
Any further? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
6C 240-258 Anchorage Road. Be it so resolved that in accordance with section 15 of the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000, Municipal Plan Amendment number 23 and Development Regulations Amendment number 41, 2023 for proposed rezoning of the property at 240 to 258 Anchorage Road be referred to the Department of Municipal and Provincial Affairs to determine any provincial interest. So moved.
Seconder. Counselor Butler, discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, this is a rezoning that's been working its way through the system now for several months. We've had written submissions from residents. We've had call for written submissions for residents. 2 weeks ago, we did a public information center session whereby we brought together the proponent for this project, the residents and members of our staff, so that we had everybody in the same room at the same time. And this step going forward is to pass it along to the province to see if they have any interests or concerns in that process as we work through it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
6D 7 Gardner Drive. Be it so resolved that in accordance with the Municipalities Act 1999 and the town's sale of town-owned properties policy, that the request to sell town land to the adjacent property owner at 7 Gardner Drive be refused in consideration that the town determines that the land is not surplus to the operational needs of the town. So moved.
Seconder. Counselor Connors, discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, in this case, there's a request by an adjacent landowner to purchase a piece of green space that we've, I guess, taken control of on that street and have been mowing and maintaining it for the last couple of summers, and it's turning into a very nice asset in that area. And we've indicated by this recommendation that we're not prepared to sell any part of it.
Okay. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
And 6E 10 Perrins Road. Be it so resolved that the order issued on January 26, 2023, under the authority of the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000, Municipalities Act 1999, and the Town of Conception Bay South Development Regulations, ordering the property owner to remove or repair the building on the property located at 10 Perrins Road, Conception Bay South, be confirmed. So moved.
Seconder. Deputy Mayor Goss, discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, this is a building that's in a sad state of disrepair, and we've come to a point now where it's either got to be torn down or repaired, and we've passed that order on to the landowner, onto the resident.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
And finally, Your Worship, 6F committee report. Be it so resolved that decisions and recommendations made at the Planning and Development Committee meeting on January 30, 2023 be accepted as presented with the topics discussed as indicated.
Seconder. Counselor Morris, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Thank you, Your Worship. That's it for this evening.
Thank you, Councillor Hillier. Recommendations of the Engineering and Public Works Committee Chair, Councillor Melissa Hardy, who's not here this evening. I believe Councillor Gerard Tilley is filling in.
Thank you, Worship. Following our There's our recommendations of our Engineering Public Works Committee held on February 1st. The first, item is 7A, approval to tender 2023 capital fleet. Recognizing the importance of delivering town services with a safe and reliable fleet, significant investment was budgeted in 2023 for fleet replacement. It is anticipated the new fleet purchases will include various light duty and heavy duty equipment, including dump trucks, waste collection equipment, and pickup trucks. As tenders close, purchases will be finalized and approved at a future public meeting. So be it so resolved that approval be given to tender capital fleet as budgeted for 2023. Fleet will include light and heavy duty vehicles. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Connors, discussion?
I could make a couple comments here. I just want to make folks aware we're continuing to look at options for electric vehicles, but when it comes to dump trucks and some of those medium and heavy duty vehicles, it's incredibly difficult to have the appropriate inventory and maintenance for those vehicles, even light duty vehicles. There's not a whole lot in terms of pickup trucks, but I anticipate moving forward, these would be options we'd be looking at to help reduce some of our fuel usages, as well as do our part to help our green mandate. So I just want to make a mention of that.
Sorry, any further discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
Item 7B, breakwater maintenance ratification. As part of the town's commitment to maintain infrastructure, council approved work last month on the Long Pond breakwater, which is now complete. So be it so resolved that approval be given to engage RJG Construction at a cost of $54,000 plus HST for Long Pond breakwater maintenance work, and funds are taken from the capital out of revenue account. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hilliard, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
7C, approval to award SCBA equipment. And this is just a requirement for town's sanitary sewer operations as part of our safe operating procedures. So be it so resolved that approval be given to purchase self-contained breathing apparatus equipment from Grainer Services at a cost of $11,669.24 plus HST. Funds are available in the so noted account. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Butler, discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
And your worship, next item is 7D, the Long Pond Breakwater Coastal Assessment Report. Council is, I guess, finally has the report from our consultant. So I just want to give a little brief background prior we get into some key findings and some recommendations from the report. In 2016, the government of Canada divested the town a parcel of land that included portions of the Long Pond breakwater. It also provided $1.6 million in cash, as well as revenue from longer-term water lot leases to private residents. The town assumed ownership of the breakwater, as well as the cost of any future repairs or upgrades that the town decided to do. In January 2020, a record-breaking storm event dubbed Snowmageddon caused significant damage to the Long Pond Harbor breakwater, including more than 200 meters of the breakwater, which was essentially washed away. To ensure resident safety and protect upland infrastructure, emergency repairs were completed in cooperation with the provincial government's disaster assistance funding program. The program clearly stated that repairs could only bring the breakwater back to its original design. No enhancements could be made. A year later, in January 2021, another storm surge, much smaller than what had occurred during Snowmageddon, resulted in the breakwater breaching a second time. Emergency repairs were again completed, this time with an enhanced design under the guidance of an experienced consultant. These repairs were not intended to be permanent, as the town realized comprehensive effort would be required to determine a more robust long-term solution. CBCL was awarded the work, which included a review of the existing marine conditions for the area, a review of the 2020 and 21 storm conditions and impacts on the current breakwater design at that time, and presentation of breakwater design options that would withstand a 100-year storm, including climate change conditions and sea level rise. CBCL CBCL has now completed the work and its Lamp Island Breakwater Coastal Report is finalized. I just want to touch on some key findings of the report. Snowmageddon resulted in a storm event having weather conditions exceeding a 1 in 100 year return period. The 2021 storm surge measured approximately 1 in 5 year return period conditions. CBCL concluded that the storm of 2020 severely compromised the integrity of the breakwater to the extent that the additional repairs could not adequately restore the breakwater to an acceptable standard, and that a new design would be warranted in specific areas. The review indicated that since the repair enhancements were completed in 2021, there have been a total of 22 storm events of similar nature to the 2021 storm surge that have caused no damage to the repaired or enhanced sections. The review revised that with the present armor stone reinforcement, the risk of breaching is considerably reduced. Some of the key recommendations from the report: further review should be undertaken on existing breakwater conditions, which should include geotechnical investigation and detailed inspections of existing structures and environmental and regulatory requirement reviews for future construction work. An advanced breakwater design and costing were provided, which incorporated future conditions that would exceed what was experienced by Snowmageddon. Council is focusing on the short-term recommendations from the report and will continue to explore funding opportunities for progressing the long-term enhancements. Council has already submitted funding requests to normal federal and provincial departments. Our council continues to closely monitor the breakwater. While the temporary armor stone that has been installed offers an enhanced level of protection, areas of the breakwater adjacent to the armor stone continue to deteriorate. Council has recently approved an additional $62,675 to provide further maintenance in areas where the breakwater continues to deteriorate. It is likely that additional maintenance and repairs will be required while planning for a more permanent solution continues. Total expenditures to date are $3,155,161, of which $811,225 has been offset through government funding. It is evident that climate change and evolving weather patterns are continuing to negatively impact our coastlines and our community. Council has asked staff to review our programs and policies to ensure we are properly considering the realities of climate change in our operations. Council will continue to diligently monitor and maintain the breakwater, and I believe that will be uploaded to the town's website in the coming days. So the recommendation, be it so resolved that the Lamp Island Breakwater Coastal Assessment Report be adopted as presented. So moved.
Seconder. Councilor Barrett, discussion?
And your worship, just one more, I think, before someone gets on.
Sure.
While this, in order for us to make this a public document, we have to accept it as presented. Council is not, I guess, not bound by all the recommendations, but we will certainly heed the recommendations and do what we can to make this breakwater safe for everyone.
Councilor Barrett.
Yes, thank you, your worship, and thank you, Councillor Tilley, for that. I thought part of this process, looking at the report, I think it was really great job done by CBCL, and worth noting where we are on the northeast Avalon. With this report, we were able to get a lot of local information because we're on the western side of the northeast Avalon, and so I think that will pay dividends for us. Also, as Councillor Tilley mentioned, it will be online, and you will see that should council follow through with all their recommendations, that would come at a $15.5 million price tag, which is obviously fairly costly. And as you, Councillor Tilley has mentioned, we've already put $3.1 million on this initiative and continuing to explore options. And so this is an important investment, but it's going to take a number of years if we want to follow through with it. But yeah, I'm glad we have this out there and we can start moving forward on this front.
Any other discussion? Yeah, I just want to say that having this work done, this piece of work done now takes all sort of the guessing and conjecture out of it. It gives us a view of what's really there, what's happening and what could happen. And it gives us a framework of the things that we need to consider as time goes on. And it allows us to set some targets, and it allows us to move forward with ensuring that this asset is protected for the long term. We've spent some money tonight fixing up an area that was shown to be compromised, because we're monitoring it on a regular basis, which is important. And from what we're told, that the work that was done or is being done in that particular area is needed and solid, and will protect that area for time to come. But this gives us the overview that I think that we were looking for, and it's certainly something that we will be talking about, and something that we will be analyzing, and our engineering staff will be reviewing and putting into perspective for us, so that we can make the proper decisions and going forward with regards to the breakwater. But also it allows us to plan financially based on the information that we have as well. If there are no other comments, then I'll call for a vote. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
Seven E is our transmission main replacement update. The town continues with the replacement of a section of the transmission main following several water breaks along an isolated area and further comprehensive condition assessments that were undertaken. Due to the nature of the work and importance to mitigate disruption, a request for qualifications for construction services is the next step. The request for qualifications will allow contractors with experience in this work scope to be pre-qualified for the tender process. So be it so resolved that approval be given to proceed with the request for qualifications for the water and sewer upgrades and transmission main. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hilliard, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Item 7F, Waste Disposal Assistance Program. For those who may not be aware, the town has a waste disposal assistance program that allows residential properties with septic tanks a rebate for pumping and cleaning. The motion today is an update to the program conditions that will assist with efficiency and residential expectations if they wish to take advantage of this program. The program details are available on the town's website, and I invite anyone who qualify to take the advantage. So be it so resolved that the Waste Disposal Assistance Program be adopted as presented. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hilliard, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
And finally, your worship, is the blanket recommendation from our committee meeting on February 1st. Be it so resolved that the recommendations and decisions of the Engineering and Public Works Committee meeting held on Wednesday, February 1st, 2023 be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Butler, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Thank you, worship. That's it for Public Works and Engineering.
Thank you, Councillor Tilly. Recommendations for Recreation and Leisure Services. Chair Shelley Moores.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. 8A, request to call limited call for proposals, exclusive snack vending contract. Be it so resolved that the town of Conception Bay South call limited request for proposals for the exclusive snack vending contract at the Town Hall Recreation Complex, Conception Bay South Arena, and the Robert French Memorial Stadium. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Connors, discussion.
The current contract in place for the exclusive snack vending at the Town Hall Recreation Complex and the Robert French Memorial Stadium with Avalon vending is set to expire March 1st, 2023. So that's why we're putting a call out now.
All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
And the other 8B is just the Recreation Leisure Services Committee report. Blanket statement, be it so resolved that the recommendations and decisions of the Recreation Leisure Services Committee meeting of January 31st, 2023 be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Tilly, discussion. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
And I'd just like to put one more plug in for the Winterfest activities. There's a lot of activities out there, so make sure you're checking social media and other resources to see what we have going on. Thank you.
And I'll do one further plug. I'm dressed up in my Winterfest hoodie for tonight's meeting and promotion of all the festivities starting on the 10th, Friday. And looking forward to serving up some pancakes on Saturday morning. So looking forward to all that again. Back in person with lots of things on the go. 50 events, right? 50 events in Winterfest for the 50th anniversary. Excellent.
It's unfortunate too. This is the first time in many years that one of the former councillors and I, former councillor Uden, used to have a bet in regards to the alumni game. And of course, winners had to wear the opposing team's shirts, but unfortunately, the two people that are organizing it this year still sit at the council table, but we're both Falcons.
So everybody around the table that's involved is a Holy Spirit.
Oh, we got,
No, here we go.
we got 1 point there. So-
Over here.
Okay, so I guess the challenge is going out to you, Deputy Mayor.
So is it on? Deputy Mayor, Councillor Tilly, jerseys.
Is on.
There we go.
Is on.
All right. All right. Well, okay, with that in mind, then we're going to let you spend some money, Deputy Mayor, with your recommendations from Financial Administration Committee.
I forgot. I got excited. Forgot all about it. The recommendations of Financial Administrative Services Committee from our meeting of Monday, January 30th are as follows. First item 9A is our accounts payable checks. Be it so resolved that approval be given to pay accounts payable checks totaling $332,556.59 as per the attached listing. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Barrett, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Next item is 9B, manual checks. Be it so resolved that approval be given to ratify the payment of manual checks totaling $196,161.06. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Morris, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9C, direct payments. Be it so resolved that approval be given to ratify direct payments totaling $245.21. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Butler, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Next item is the capital invoice approval. Be it so resolved that approval be given to pay capital invoices totaling $800,963.32 as per the attached listing. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Barrett, discussion.
These are payments for all our capital works projects. Most of them are winding up, and this is just, we're getting to the end of it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9E, tax and other receivables. Be it so resolved that approval be given to adjust tax and other receivable accounts as presented. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Barrett, discussion.
These were, there's a listing of adjustments that came forward after a staff review of some businesses that had closed or moved, and just some tax adjustments, and it was approved by the committee to bring forward.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9F is the appointment of Appeal Assessment Commissioner for the year 2023. Be it so resolved that the Town of Conception Bay South appoint Mr. Mitch Moran as the Appeal Assessment Commissioner for the year 2023. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Connors, discussion.
We do this every year, appoint a commissioner to review any appeals for under the municipal assessment.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9G is our Financial and Administrative Services Department report. Be it so resolved that the recommendations and decisions of the Financial and Administrative Services Committee meeting held on January 30th, 2023 be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder. Counselor Tilly, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you.
And that's it for the financial administrative services. Thanks.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Recommendations of the Economic Development and Tourism Committee Chair, Councillor Paul Connors.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have the blanket recommendation tonight, but I just wanted to highlight a couple of things before we read the blanket recommendation. Pleased to let residents know that Mangles River are opening their doors for the winter season. The cafe and Riverside Gifts will be open Tuesday to Saturdays from 11 to 4:30, offering specially hot drinks, homemade soups and sandwiches. They are offering movie events throughout each week and other special events. Engage with Mangles River on social media to stay up to date on everything that's happening at Mangles River. Another thing I just wanted to mention was this 50-year anniversary, and we did our first business recognition this week. Was highlighted in the Shoreline. Was Foxtrot Muffler was the company that was highlighted. What did I say? Foxtrot Automotive. They were called Foxtrot Muffler at one time. Our anniversary business staff are working through a list of business that will be featured in the coming year or throughout the year. But I wanted to ask residents and anyone who knows a business that's been in existence, especially 50+ years, or been in our community since we've been incorporated, to get those names to us so we can recognize those businesses, and because they're the foundation for our economy here in Conception Bay South, those businesses that have been around for so long. And just one more thing before the blanket recommendation, building on their successful backyard composting program, we're now looking at another program for residents. We're investigating a similar program for rain barrels. So we'll soon start with an expression of interest, as we did with the other program. And if there's significant interest in people wanting to purchase rain barrels through this program, we'll do a pre-order option as we did. So just letting residents know that this will be happening in the near future. Blanket recommendation from our meeting on January 31st. Be it so resolved that the recommendation decisions made at the Economic Development Tourism Committee meeting of January 31st, 2023 be accepted as presented. A list of discussion topics is attached. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hillier, discussion. All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you, Councillor Connors. Next, other committee reports. Is there anyone that has something? Yes, Councillor Butler.
Thank you, Your Worship. The Seniors Advisory Committee met on February 2nd, and they've been working diligently to address the needs of seniors in Conception Bay South, and has done so much recently through the use of an age-friendly survey. The committee has collected responses from the public on a range of topics that affect seniors and many other populations in our community, including transportation, healthcare, housing, recreational opportunities, social inclusion, and more. They have spent a significant amount of time and effort looking at all responses and identifying ways to improve and remedy many of the issues brought forward, and have created a guiding document outlining their goals and objectives for each. They have also included their plan to address each topic. The committee will continue to work to achieve these goals and continue to evaluate the needs of seniors in Conception Bay South. Anyone who is interested in being part of this committee can get more information online at www.conceptionbaysouth.ca/seniors, and you'll find an application there if you would like to join this very active and very informative and very resourceful group of seniors. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Butler. Yes, Councillor Morris.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. We had a downtown CVS meeting on January 19th. I guess one of the things that many things that are going on there, but they're very excited to be involved with the 50th anniversary celebrations. And they're also hosting their strategic planning session on February 23rd, which is open to council members. So those are just a couple things that we were discussing at that meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Morris. Does anyone else? Yes, Deputy Mayor Goss.
On February 1st, we had a meeting with our Youth Advisory Council. It was my first meeting for the year. They had met prior with Natasha Hand from Recreation Department. And anyway, it was a really nice group. We talked about Winterfest and things coming up and opportunities for them to get involved and volunteer. So you should see some of our young people coming out to some of our events and helping out. And I look forward to working with this group. I also put it out there that if there's any youth that are interested in getting involved in the community with some of our town events, we also try to identify other needs in the community where they might be able to help out. Anyway, to reach out to Recreation Department and put their name through, and we'll connect with them and have them come to our next meeting. Anyways, that was a great meeting. Great to meet the young people. And like I said, I really look forward to, we'll see some of them at our pancake breakfast for sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? I just want to, before we wrap up, I just want to thank the members of our 50th anniversary committee. And I know it's Councillor Moores and Councillor Tilley are the lead on that. And they have a group of people working with them that are doing some great things. And we're seeing some wonderful events starting this weekend and going through, and looking forward to some wonderful things throughout the year. And as well, our Winterfest committee. And I believe Councillor Moores, you're involved in that fairly heavily. And we have a great committee there as well. So we're looking forward to the 50, I think there's 50 plus, but we call it 50 events starting February 10th that run to February 19th, I believe. So lots of fun outdoors and indoors, again, thankfully, and lots of things there for everyone. And also, I want to say that our CBS Tourism Committee held a meeting last week. I believe it was last Wednesday, February 1st. And they were revitalizing themselves and getting ready for an exciting 2023 for tourism and attracting people to come to our community. So looking forward to the work that they're going to be doing over the next while. And they do that through our economic development department as well. So again, a reminder for the kickoff event, 6 o'clock, Nugent's Field, this Friday, the 10th. And bright and early Saturday morning pancakes up at the CBS Arena, and look forward to seeing lots of people out for those. So with that, we'll be back again on February the 21st for the next public meeting, and I'll ask for a motion for adjournment. Moved by Councillor Tilley, seconded by Councillor Barrett. All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everyone.